Hi, so this is my first year homeschooling our three younger children, and it has been extremely eye opening. And that is an understatement, right? So today I had another eye opening moment. And, I was doing an activity with one of my children, and he's a very bright kid. So I made a lot of assumption, and the activity required him to use the dictionary and to know how it's set up and just the different things that are there. So I was like, okay, he'll breeze through this activity, and my assumption was that he would be able to do it independently because, again, he's a bright kid. He should know how to figure this out, and he knows how to use a dictionary, of course, right? So a few minutes into the activity, and him constantly turning to me and say, wait, what, how do you do this, and needing help to answer some of the questions that was being asked, I was just like, are you kidding me? And I realized he does not know how to use a dictionary that's right there in front of him. He is very much aware, right, because of this generation, how to get online and how to Google the meanings of words. He knows how to go to dictionary.com, right, to figure it all out. But I realized that there were some very basic things that he did not understand about having an actual hard copy of a dictionary. So, of course, the wheels got to turning for me after our patient testing activity. And he eventually figured it out after I just taught him the strategies and how everything works. I realized that I can have that same approach. Like, I am pretty passionate, right, about just good health. And I know that it's not the same path for everyone. And what I'm doing works really well for me. So when people come and they begin to ask me questions about it, I get excited. And sometimes I jump way ahead because I'm making the assumption that they understand some very basic things. And as I begin to just and talk, I get the deer in headlights look, or just questions that I'm like, oh, you don't know some of the basic things. So let's backtrack. So I say that to say, as we try to engage people in conversations, as they begin to see that you're losing weight, or that you have more energy, or that your skin is clearing up, or whatever, right? Outward things that they're seeing, and they get interested in the way that you're eating, and they're curious. I just want to caution you to be careful and not to make assumption that people know some of the things that we assume is just basic knowledge, right? And I don't mean that in a mean way at all, but I realize that there are certain people where they may just be used to getting on Google, and whatever the doctor says, I'm just going to go along with that, right? It's, you just give me the information, doctor, because I trust you. You have, a degree, and you went to school, and you paid a lot of money for it. So therefore, whatever you say is valid. And I don't know that I can necessarily speak negatively against people who may have that mindset, because I think that there's something to be said that if you have not been put in the position where you have to question conventional medicine, then there's no reason for you to not go along with the norm. Like, for me personally, I have to be fair and say, hey, the reason why I have just ditched like a lot of what mainstream doctors are saying is because of my own health journey and the bumps along the way. That's what pushed me into digging deeper. So I think that sometimes it is unfair that I make this assumption that people that perhaps never had to dig deeper because they didn't have any issues come up until perhaps now. So it's not fair for me to just say, oh, you should know this information. How can you not? I can't make those assumptions, right? Because I think sometimes when you make those assumptions, assumptions and you overwhelm people, like they're at point A and you're giving them point Z explanation, it's so easy for them to just be so overwhelmed with all that you're throwing at them, and they can just say, before they even want to give this lifestyle a try, they just shut it down because it just seems so overwhelming. So I just ask you to consider that as you're engaging in people in conversation. We know that the New Year's is around the corner, and just a few more months, and you already know how it goes. People go hard over the holidays, and they indulge in everything that they shouldn't, and then right before the New Year's everybody wants to lose weight, or oh yeah, this is the year where I'm gonna turn it all around, and they may very well try to engage you in conversation to pick your brains. So when they do, be mindful not to overwhelm them or make assumption that they know certain information that you may think is just common knowledge. I would say ask questions. Begin the conversation before you even give the answer. Just say, hey, well, what do you know about eating meat? What do you know about eating a low carb lifestyle? What are some of the ideas that you think are true? What are some of the thoughts that you have? What have you heard, right? So you gather that data. What do you think about eating fat? Like, what kind of fats do you think is okay to eat? So I think that it's good to first gather the information in terms of what they know, so that you can know, where do we even begin, so that, again, I'm not assuming that you know something that you really don't know. So sometimes it's not just about giving the answers. Sometimes it's about first pausing to ask the questions so that you can know where to begin, so that you can give the correct answers and to have a great starting point. So yeah, I just really wanted to share that with you. And then back to the dictionary example. I have to say, parents, if you are out there and you have young children, don't be like me and assume that they know how to use a dictionary if you have not taken the time out to sit with a hardbound copy of a dictionary with them. Please do, and save yourself the frustration. And beyond that, I'm not being funny. There's so many skills that they learn. They have to know about putting things in alphabetical order beyond the first letter. There's a lot of problem solving that's going on, right? And your mind is just going as you're reading, learning how to use the dictionary, because the different strategies that you have to look up a word. I mean, it's a lot that's going on there. So, yes. The child that always enters when I'm doing a video, or a lot of time enters, is here with a mouthful of food. So that's my cue that I need to end. So with that said, you be blessed.